In this lecture, let's see 3 different options that can be used to change the minimum, maximum and the current value of the slider. Now, the handle is at the starting point, that is at 0, and we can move this handle as we want. So this is the minimum point and this is the maximum allowed point. So by default, the minimum value is 0 and the maximum value is 100. And the current value is 0 by default. That is why when we load a page, it is at the starting point, which is 0. So looking at this slider, we are not actually able to see the minimum or maximum values or even the current value, right? So first let us try to get the minimum and maximum values and display it as an alert message. So let me get where min equals. How we can get the value of the minimum option? We can get it using option. So option, and the name of the option is min. That is the minimum value of the slider. Similarly, we can get the maximum value using the max option. So let me change this to max, and the name of the option is also max. And let me try to display it like alert min plus min, that is the minimum value, and then max, it is the maximum value which is there in the max variable. So let's try to see that first. Save, refresh. See, minimum is 0, maximum is 100. Suppose I want to change the minimum to 50 and maximum to 200. How we can do that? Within this, we can use the min and max options. So min, let it be 50, and max, let it be 200. Okay. Now let's see that. Refresh. See, min is now 50 and max is 200. And the slider looks exactly the same, right? The width of the slider is still the same, though we have changed the value of the min and max options. Now, the current value can be changed using the value option. So by default, the value of the value option is 0. That is why it is at the starting point. So we can change the current value using the value option. Let me change it to say 125. Okay. And let's see that. Save, refresh. See, min is 50, max is 200, and it is at the center point. This is 125. That is 50 plus 75, 125. 125 plus 75 is 200. That is at the middle point. So now even if we change the value, we are not able to see what the current value is, right? So what I'm going to do is, let me add value and then a span element, okay, with ID current. So here we need to have the initial value when the page is loaded, and later whenever the value is changed, this span element's content should be updated. So similar to this, we can get the value of the value option as well. So where current equals, the name of the option is value. Okay, so value, and what we can do, we can set the text for the span element with ID current, right? So current is this ID dot text, let the value be current. So when the page is loaded, it will have the initial value. So let's see that. Refresh. See, value is 125, then min is 50 and max is 200. So this is the point. And I want to update this value whenever I change the value in the slider. That is, when I move like this and release the mouse, it will be at a new point, and I want to get that value here. So how we can do that? The change event actually gets triggered when the value is changed. So we will be discussing different events in a different lecture. But for the time being, to change this value, what we can do is, we can write the code in the change event. So let me put a comma here and write change. That is the name of the event function. And within this, we can write the code. So what we need to do, we need to update the value in this span element. So let me copy up to this. And how we can get the latest value? this function will have two parameters. They are event and UI, and the UI dot value will return the current value. So UI dot value will give you the current value. So let's see that. Save, refresh. Min is 50, max is 200. Let me move this to this point and release the mouse. The value is changed to 153. Let me move it from here till this point. It is 73, 85, 130, 50 and 200. So the change event gets triggered whenever the value is changed. So using that event, we can get the current value. So we are updating the value here using the change event. So suppose we want to change the min to 25 and the max to 75 and the current value to 30. Let's see the difference. Save, refresh. Min is 25, max is 75 and the current value is 30. Let me move the handle to this point. See, it is 45. It is 62. So in this lecture, we have seen how to use the min, max and value options. The min option is used to set the minimum value and the min option's value is 0 by default. The max option is used to set the maximum value of the slider and the value of the max option is 100 by default. And the value option is used to change the current value and it is also 0 by default. So you can change the min, max and current values using min, max and value options.